Seminoles have been the surprise team of the season, haven't they?
Something must have good happened to them when for Christmas. Santa must have been good for them for Christmas because ever since I came back from Christmas vacation, they have been hot, hot, hot. Somehow, though, the term Metro Conference leaders seems a little unfamiliar when it's applied to Florida State basketball. But Coach Pat Kennedy's team thinks their early season success fits quite nicely, thank you. After 2 big Metro wins at home, the Tribe headed upriver to Cincinnati to play the UC Bearcats, and it was not easy today. Kennedy's Seminoles hadn't played in a week, but they were anything but rusty. Tough defense created offense in the first half. The steal, George McLeod with the break, takes it himself all the way, draws the foul. The 3-point play put Florida State up 5-0 early. Cincinnati, a perennial Metro doormat, hung tough in the first half thanks to Cedric Glover, a turnaround Jay from 14 for 2 of his 11 first half points. But the Tribe outscored the Bearcats 20-7 down the stretch in the first half. Tony Dawson right in the middle of it with 12 points, FSU by 13 at the half. Second half, Cincinnati again made it a close game thanks to Ronnie Ellison, who had 25. Here he pops for 3 to make it a 6-point game. George McLeod, meantime, had a big second half for the Tribe. Here, the turnaround in the paint for 2 of his team-high 20. FSU led late. Under 30 seconds now, FSU by 5. Ellison drops another bomb from his 3-point plane to cut it down to 73-71. And it came down to this. Theron Mays misses the back end of a 1-and-1 with 8 seconds to go. Cincinnati with a chance to tie. They need 3. They come up court, and Roger McClendon takes the last shot, and it's no good as the buzzer sounds. Florida State hangs on 74-71 for its 3rd straight Metro Conference win and 6th straight victory overall to run their record to 11-4. Fans of Pat Kennedy Live, meantime, can catch this week's show at a special time tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on W17AB in Tallahassee. You can call in and talk about today's game against Cincinnati or the upcoming games with South Carolina and Central Florida next week. Meantime, let's check out a couple of other Metro scores. The game that just ended a little while ago saw Purdue beat Louisville 91-85. And at the half, Florida State's next opponent, South Carolina, trails Clemson 40-31. In the SEC today, Dale Brown's LSU Tigers looking for the upset against Eddie Sutton's Kentucky Wildcats down in Baton Rouge. But Rex Chapman hit the jumper from 15 to put UK on top early. They were in command the whole way in this one. LSU's long-range bomber Ricky Blanton tried to keep the Tigers close with his own personal air raid, but Winston Bennett for Kentucky got loose underneath, wide open for the lay-in. Kentucky over LSU today, 76-61. The Cats now 13-2 on the year. In Knoxville, the Florida Gators kept their spot on top of the SEC thanks to 18 points from Vernon Maxwell, beating the Tennessee Vols 76-56. Tonight, the Georgia Dogs are at Mississippi State, and Alabama beat Ole Miss today 73-66. In top 20 action, Oklahoma edged 6th-ranked Pittsburgh 86-83. Duke annihilated Wake Forest 103-70 in an ACC game. Upset of the day so far, Missouri ran wild on number 10 Iowa State 119-93 the final, and Notre Dame edged 16th-ranked Kansas 80-76. So much for basketball. 38-year-old Larry Holmes, meantime, tried to turn back the clock last night in Atlantic City. Instead, he got his clock cleaned. Iron Mike Tyson scored a 4th-round knockout of the former heavyweight champion to retain his undisputed title as the best fighter in the world. Tyson knocked Holmes down 3 times in the 4th round. The final blow to the head sent Holmes down and out with just 5 seconds to go in the round. Afterwards, Tyson just repeated what he has said all along.
I'm taking all challenges, and everybody's been saying there's been people like picking Holmes for upset and saying I'm a cheese champion. And for all the fighters out there that said Tyson's not all that good, just keep coming to the fight so you can take lessons. I believe I'm the best fighter in the world, so I'm the champ.
Tyson now 33-0 with 29 knockouts. Next up for the 21-year-old, Tony Tubbs on March 21st in Tokyo. Now, I promised you, absolutely the last college football game of the year today. The first time the top seniors get paid above the table to play in the Senior Bowl. They say the South will rise again, but today it was the North. Syracuse quarterback Don McPherson up top to Tennessee's Anthony Miller for 53 yards and a touchdown, 14-0 North at the half. Second half, Auburn quarterback Jeff Berger throws over the middle. It's picked off by Mississippi Valley State's Vincent Brown. He rambles through the South like Sherman all the way to the 1. From there, UNLV's Ickey Woods went over from the 1 to make it 21-0. By this point, the North in control of this 39th annual Senior Bowl game in Mobile. Meantime, Mayo's Kerwin Bell, the Florida Gator quarterback, tried to bring the South back. Here he throws deep to South Carolina's Sterling Sharp for 60 yards and a touchdown, but that was all the offense for the South. The North wins it today, 21-7. Meantime, former Seminole star Ron Sellers has been honored by being named to the College Football Hall of Fame. Sellers, Florida State's all-time leader in pass receptions and yards, joins 10 other college greats, including Oklahoma defensive tackle Leroy Selman. They'll all be inducted into the Hall officially in December. And oh yeah, another big football game is coming up. Next Sunday, the Denver Broncos and Washington Redskins will settle once and for all who's the best of this strange NFL season in Super Bowl XXII. The Redskins are back at work for the first time since their NFC Championship win over the Minnesota Vikings. Coach Joe Gibbs making his third trip to the big one, and lo and behold, number 81 is back. All-world wide receiver Art Monk back after a knee injury. The Skins are carefully mixing business and pleasure.
I think my main job is go and try to get the game plan down, enjoy myself with my family, but at the same time get ready to play a football game next Sunday.
The Super Bowl's in San Diego this time around, so the Broncos don't have to worry about the cold. They moved indoors to work out. They're in the unfamiliar role of Super Bowl favorites by about 4.5 points, so say the odds makers.
I'd rather be underdog personally. You know, I like to go in there with everyone thinking we're going to lose the game and come out victorious.
It feels good. I'm really indifferent about it, I guess, but if we're favored, great.
Super Bowl XXII, a 6 o'clock kickoff next Sunday. And 3 good periods to get out and fish on Sunday. The first one's a little early, though, 3 until 8 Sunday morning. An active lunch hour, 11 a.m. till 1 in the afternoon. But the best time between 4:30 in the afternoon and 9 tomorrow night. Tight lines and good fishing. So a lot of college basketball going on. But Seminoles, Monday night, South Carolina in the Civic Center.
Look forward to it.
Right.
Thanks, Ken. Some television commercials are works of art. We'll see the best of them when Eyewitness News returns.